Hi, welcome once again to an episode of Oh Heavens, where we look at the topic of heaven based on questions that kind of introduce some ideas and allow us to do a deep dive. Today, as we think about heaven, the question is, what will worship be like in heaven? And that is an intriguing and amazing question. John, in the book of Revelation, was allowed to see heavenly worship. And he wrote about the magnificence of it. And so, let's jump into Revelation 4, verse 4, to hear his description. It says, "Around the throne there were 24 thrones, and on the thrones I saw 24 elders, the representatives of the church of the living God, sitting, clothed in white robes, and they had crowns of gold on their heads." If you were to drop down to verse 6, it says, "Before the throne there was a sea of glass, like crystal. And in the midst of the throne and around the throne were 4 living creatures, full of eyes in front and in back." And then if you drop down to verses 8 to 11, it says this, "And they do not rest day or night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come." Whenever the living creatures give glory and honor and thanks to him who sits on the throne, who lives forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before him who sits on the throne, and worship him who lives forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, "You are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they exist and were created." Believe it or not, that is the snapshot that we get of what worship will be like in heaven. Will there be more to it? I'm sure there is. How do you and I fit into it? I'm not exactly sure. But at the end of the day, that is the worship event that John gives us a glimpse of. I wish, in some ways, I could see and hear all that John saw. Because we remember, as John's writing, he's giving us what's going on in terms that he's processing in and that he can understand. It's probably an event that is too big for words to capture. He's seeing things that he doesn't have any frame of reference to describe. And yet what he describes is magnificent. One day, we're going to be a part of that kind of great gathering before the God's throne. And here's what we know. We will bring honor and we will bring glory to the Lord. However that looks, whatever that looks like, in a way that's pleasing to God, because we'll be in his presence. And so that's a lot of verses to answer the question without really giving you a definitive answer, because definitively we don't know exactly. We just know some of the things that will be taking place and what it will be like. Hope that helps. Should be exciting to you. Can't wait to see it. Wish we knew more. And one day, someday, we will. I look forward to joining you in our next episode.